I'm Lisa Haisha. Welcome to the Legacy Interviews. Today I have Arriane Alexander, and we went to the same school. We got our master's at the University of Santa Monica, which is a spiritual psychology program. And we both are on the same path of life coaching. We're in the entertainment business. We both like to get messy and do 100 different things. And I've always been intrigued with her. We're friends, but we're not friends that hang out every day. Sometimes we catch up and go grab a coffee once a year or something. But I love her energy. I love the work she's doing. She has her one-woman hit show. She's in the fashion business. She's a TV host. She has high-profile coaching clients and a lot more. So let's discover her together and figure out what her legacy is. And maybe she could give us some tips on how to create yours or how to create a vision for your life that would really fulfill you. Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
It's great.
Yeah, so I haven't had coffee with you or lunch for a long time, probably 2 years now. But I've been following you on Facebook still and saying, God, she's a powerhouse. She is just go, 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 go. And I just wanted to catch up and hear more about you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's true. It's life happens so fast, and I'm kind of always catching up to my life because it does move so fast because I'm so clear about intentions and creations and what's next. So there's a lot that's happened since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, and I love what you just said, right? That's perfect for this interview. Just really, you're a master at intention setting and really catching up with your life and saying, whoa, where am I going in the right direction? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I feel like I ask for Spirit's assistance to be guided to what's next. And I don't mean that in a any sort of woo-woo way. I just am very intuitive of asking for what are my clear next steps. And then I do them. And it might not make sense and it might be really scary, but I used to live my life over 10 years ago, before I started the University of Santa Monica, the spiritual psychology program. I would describe myself as not courageous, as not living a full life, as not doing what my heart called me to do. And fast forward 10 years later, I would describe myself as one of the most courageous people I know. And I continually go for it. And I continually put myself out there just because I feel like I don't have a choice. Like I feel like there's something
of something that you were really scared to do and you broke through that fear. And I want to know how you set your intentions.
Okay. So a very clear example is I grew up in Kansas and I did everything I should do. I went to college and I got a job and I worked in that job and I was very successful in the fashion business with a high-level corporate career. And I was miserable. And I didn't know why. I didn't know what I should do. I didn't know what was next. And I literally just left my career because I had to walk away and say, what's next? And what happened was the clear guidance that I received was getting involved with the entertainment business, not even meaning to, but I kept going forward with that path because the doors kept opening. And I developed a career as a TV actor. I'm a working actor on television and I'm on TV shows. And I would have never in a million years dreamt that growing up in Kansas, that I would be living in LA today and be working on TV shows and hosting TV shows. So it's this complete unexpected journey, and the courage to follow that guidance is what's amazing to me. Because I'm like, how would I ever think I could be an actor? Like, I'd never taken acting classes.
But how did you do it? What were your steps?
I started so small because it was like, what sounds like fun? And I was like, oh, acting classes sound like fun. I don't have any intention to be an actor, but acting classes sound like fun. So I started taking acting classes. And then I thought, oh, well, I've hosted things before. Like, I've been a spokesperson for huge fashion events across the country. So I thought I can host TV shows, but I didn't know anything about it. But I just literally had the courage to start talking to someone about it, asking, how do you get a job hosting a show in LA? Like, I thought it was easy. Like, I thought, oh, I'll just call some people and I'll get a job hosting a show. And that's kind of what happened because I didn't know any better. So I just started building relationships, small relationships with people that now, years later, turned out to be big relationships and keep turning into jobs. So I started small, just doing what sounded like fun to me. And then those fun things that made my heart happy and made me happy actually turned into relationships and jobs and more opportunities that still continue today.
Okay, that's amazing. Can you walk me through one of your days?
Today?
Because I know you're
Yeah.
doing so much,
Yeah.
and it seems like you just have the secret to success. Whatever you go for, you get. Whatever you do, you're great at it. It's just so.
I love that.
Yeah, but that's great to put off that image. That's great branding, that I'm a success, and whatever I do, if you put me on your show, it'll succeed. And if you put me in your club, you do stand-up, you do everything. I'd love to see you do a piece of your show. Can you do something for us here?
Well, I started in the entertainment business with a one-woman show. Again, I had no idea what a one-woman show even was.
And you did this through your acting class and thought, oh, let me create my own one-woman show?
I literally was on vacation. I'd just left my career in the fashion business. I was on vacation in Mexico with my friends, and I was singing, like I was doing karaoke all over Cancun and having a blast, because karaoke in Cancun is huge. There's like big screens and stages, and it's a huge deal. And I forgot I have this amazing voice, and I'm like singing, and the whole restaurants and bars are like turning around staring at me like, who is this superstar on stage? Because I just thought I was a superstar. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I called my best friend from Mexico, and I said, when I get home, I'm going to have a one-woman show. And she goes, that's amazing. What's that? And I said, I have no idea.
What's that?
Okay. And I literally was like, I want to make people laugh. I want to sing. I want to tell stories. I want to have a band. I want to have an audience. I just knew that sounded like a blast. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And I did it. Like, I got home, and 2 weeks later, I met a producer that produces one-woman shows, and he kind of took my hand and led me through the process. And bada bing, bada boom, 6 months later, I have this stage show called Big Blonde and Beautiful at the Cinegrill in downtown LA that I had no idea what I was doing, but I just did it. And that's where the courage comes from. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was going to do it right. I knew I wasn't doing it perfect, but I had the courage and the heart to just do it anyway. So my show is called Big Blonde and Beautiful. So the main song is Big, blonde, and beautiful. There is nothing about me that's unsuitable. No one else in that. Oh my God, it's been so long, I forgot the song.
That's okay. That alone is fabulous. Yeah.
I haven't done it for a while, but it's that whole experience. That's what kind of popped me into my reality of being big, blonde, and beautiful, and being okay with it. And then life has just continued to move forward since then.
Yeah. So it seems like your show is therapy for you, of really self-acceptance, and maybe you've had some self-criticism of I'm this or I'm that, and putting into song and celebrating who you are in front of hundreds of people and thousands throughout the years. How did that transform you?
Yeah,
because I think healing work, writing your story, all that is so healing.
It's all so healing. I mean, the process of putting together a one-woman show is all about my inner critic coming up and what has brought me to where I am today and what has shaped my journey, and also always working with that part of me that wants it to be perfect and wants it to be right and wants it to be the best, and letting that go and letting something bigger than me lead this. That's always what I thought, is like, how is this being of service to people?
So that was your intention going in, not how can I be a star?
No, my intention's never, that's what's so great about my journey in the entertainment business, is I've never been one to be like, I want to be famous and I want to be in People magazine. I literally could care less about the fame and celebrity. I love what I do. I think it's a blast. I giggle every time I go to set to shoot a TV show or host the TV shows that I host, because I'm like, I'm playing dress up and I get to have fun, and people pay me to do this, and people get entertained by it. And it's like a dream. And it has nothing to do with the money or fame or anything like that, because it's my way of showing people that, like, you can live a life that's fun and fulfilling and heart-opening and exciting, and if you choose, because I chose it and I do it. And
but what about someone sitting there saying, I'm not beautiful, I don't have money to even go from Kansas to LA, I don't have support, or I'm a recovering alcoholic or something, that I have strong demons in my head, what I call imposters, that come out and sabotage me. How would you help them with that? Because you're so deeply spiritual, and you still volunteer at the school we went to, so you're really plugged in and you keep up with it. What advice would you give somebody like that who's saying, I really want that, but I keep trying and I'm back in rehab, or I don't have the money, so I have to take that job all day and I'm too tired to follow my dream?
It's such a great question, because it's so real. Because so many people live in that space of not seeing the possibilities, and life can look really challenging to them. And that's why I love coaching so much, I'm sure as you do, because it's how, what I do is I love to, when I'm working with someone like that, is to sit with them and really dive into those limiting beliefs around what is restricting them, what is holding them back. Because what I find is that when we look at our world like it's right here and this is all there is, that it's hard and it's challenging and there's no support and there's no money and there's no this and there that. It's easy to look at that and go, that's real, and that is imprisoning. And how I work with my coaching clients is to even open up that field a little bit, open up that possibility of, like, not saying that someone's sitting there in the middle of the Midwest who's in rehab and doesn't have money and doesn't support, like, not that they're going to move to LA the next day and live their dreams or anything like that, but it's like, what's the smallest glimmer of possibility that someone can see and move to that place, whether it's reading a book that would be inspiring to them, or, you know, if they're working all day and they're tired, it's like, what's the tiniest amount of self-care that someone can do to actually take that time with self?
That is brilliant. It's the self-care. Mm-hmm. When you're in that space and all you see is fear, self-care goes out the window because you don't love yourself. You're looking at fear, and what the fear is saying on this side is, you're not good enough, you're a loser, don't even try. Mm-hmm. All those things are, you're fat, you're ugly, you don't have what it takes, you're not smart enough. Mm-hmm. So if you could just expand that, and you can't see it, those words are a little blurred, yeah. And you just go, okay, I'm going to do one thing. I'll take a bath, a bubble bath, and listen to jazz or whatever it is and clear my mind. Mm-hmm. I have people look in the mirror really close like this and just look into their soul for 3 minutes in the morning and connect to who their soul is, not what their story is. Yeah. And when they could get past, oh, this is just a story, it's not who I am. Yes. That's when the magic can unfold. Yes. That's a story. Throw that away. Rewrite one that you want and just say that every morning and look at yourself. This is who I am, not that. Yes. And even if it's not true and you exaggerate it, it's the slow baby steps of, I am a success. I have what it takes. I am good enough. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I totally agree with everything. And it was interesting because just this morning before I came to meet with you, I was working with a client who all this came up. Like, she's trying to write a book. And she works full time. And so she's like, how do I find time to write the book? And we tried to go into action steps around it. And she was so resistant. And I was like, what's happening? And when we finally got underneath her resistance, it got to, I don't feel worthy. I don't think I'm good enough to write a book. I don't think anyone's going to read it. I don't think, all these reasons why she couldn't do it. And so what we did was really work on that. Just really see, is that true? Are you worthy? Are you not worthy? And when she saw clearly that she's worthy just because she's here on the planet and she's breathing air, and she was like, oh, because she thought she had to be worthy, like she thought worthiness was because she's smart and because she does a good job at her work and that she can write a book. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with any of that. And when she could open up from being I'm not worthy to seeing that I'm worthy just because I'm here breathing air, then she could see next steps. She could see possibilities. And her next step was literally, when we got off the phone, to sit for 5 minutes. It's those simple things.
Yes,
that's it.
Simple things. Mm-hmm. And even if she doesn't want to write or nothing's coming to her, to sit there, 2 hours a day, you just sit. If nothing comes, nothing's coming. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Why am I even writing this? Just write anything, and then it'll start coming. Or ask yourself questions. And what you just said was also brilliant. At that, it's not about worthiness. It's about that focus is on, I got to prove to everyone I'm worthy. Mm-hmm. That's what's behind I'm not worthy. Mm-hmm. But if your focus is shifted and your focus is, I want to share a story that I find valuable to, young kids or whoever, adults, that they could learn from this, then you're helping someone and everything comes to you. I just finished a book and it was like, blood dripping. Yeah. It's like so painful. But anytime I switched it to, oh God, there's 100 life coaching books out there, thousands of them. Who cares about mine? And does the world really need another one? And do I really need to spend all this time writing it? I thought about all my clients who came in, who they've shifted and they liked my unique style of the imposter model. But then it's like, okay, even if one person, or even if this is just for my clients who say, "Oh, write a book," so that's good enough. I'll write it for them, because it's not about the fame. Then it's not about proving myself. It's just, this is what I do. These people connect to it. They'd like more. Just write it. Get something on paper, and then sit on it. It's been like 2 or 3 years. Sit on it. Then write. Sit on it. You don't have to rush and get it out. And now the pressure, it's got to get published, and I've got to make it the biggest. But just get it on paper. It's that one step at a time.
And I so agree with what you're saying about you creating the book, the project, whatever it is, about how to be of service. And that's the biggest thing for me in my experience of life and with working with my coaching clients, that once I can get out of myself and realize the gifts that I have to give are being of service to the planet, then it's easy.
It's easy because you're doing something for someone else. Sometimes it's so hard to do for yourself.
And that's where I think like the people that are so challenged in their areas of life, of like, you know, let's call it a challenging life, I'm always encouraging my clients to see how they can be of service. Where my client, I have one client, was really challenged with money, and like, it was crushing her, money, and debt, and da 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 da. And I realized, because it's all like self-focused. I'm in debt, I don't have any money, I'm scared, da da da. So I encouraged her to continue shifting the focus into what she does, all these gifts and talents that she has, how can she actually be of service to someone else on the planet? And just to shift the focus off of herself into something else. And when she did that and started seeing how the things that she does are of benefit, are of service to the planet, and how she can expand from that place, then it shifted her mindset and her point of view around her life being so challenging, because she was actually helping somebody else.
Yes.
And things start shifting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So share something with me about, what would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
Oh my gosh, my 18-year-old self.
Yeah, with everything you've gone through.
I want to cry just thinking about that. It's so sweet.
Yeah, where were you at 18, and what did
I was a cowgirl in Kansas. I was in college at Kansas State University, and I was trying to prove myself. I was smart, and I was, student council, and great at all these things I did, and I showed horses competitively my whole life, and I was a world champion. So all these things I did, which were amazing, were all about me proving myself, getting validation. Looking back now, I see it so clear. Like, I didn't do things for myself. I did things that other people thought I should do, or told me I should do, or that I thought I should do to get validation and approval and recognition, thinking that would make me happy. And I look back at that time, and I was actually really miserable. I didn't even know it, but I was really challenged and just always trying to prove to think it would make me happy. And so now, where I am today, really sitting in a place where like the validation, the recognition, the approval is great and it's fun, but it doesn't mean anything about me. It's just I get to be who I am and just be of service and have fun and help people and live my life. And so looking back at that 18-year-old girl, oh my gosh, I would just tell her, like, babe, you're amazing just as you are. You don't have to do anything to prove to anyone. You don't have to get good grades to prove that you're worthy and awesome. You don't have to be the best at everything to prove that you're awesome. You just get to be you, and what does your heart call you to do? What makes you happy, and what brings light to your life?
And how would you tell her to do that? What steps would you give her?
I mean, at the 18-year-old girl, I would say sit, even in that experience of like college, what classes do I want to take? I took all the classes I should take. I never took a class that like I wanted to take, that I thought would be fun. So the steps I would encourage her to do is to like sit and say, what sounds enjoyable? What sounds like something I would really have fun doing? What sounds like something I would be proud of doing at the end of the day? And let her sit in that space of tapping into herself, of what her intuitive guidance actually guides her to do, instead of all the noise from the outside of what she should do. And we live in a culture where it's like, we should do these things, and you have to do these things to get to the next step and all this. And I just feel so strongly that the intuitive guidance, it's already there. So I would encourage my 18-year-old to continue to release the outside voices and turn within and really go sit with herself for 5 minutes and 10 minutes and say, what does my heart call me to do? And see what that voice says.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's kind of how I live. People always people always go like, you just decide things. Like, I don't sit in limbo around anything. If someone asks me to do something, I don't go, let me think about it, I'll call you back. I'm like, yes or no. Like, I'm so clear because I so trust that part of me that is decisive and knows what's best and knows what's next. And that's just why I keep going.
So how do you follow through? Like, have you written a book?
I haven't written a book yet.
Woman show, but how do you follow through?
Great question.
Because I think community is really helpful with that.
Yes.
Accountability partners.
I do. I have, I follow through because I'm a Gemini, I have a lot of ideas, and ideas are not a problem. It's the following through and actually creating things. So for instance.
And doing one at a time, because people like us, and I'm sure people who don't succeed at anything is because they're trying to succeed at everything at once. So picking one thing and letting that get succeeding and then start building on it.
It's so true because I can easily have 5 to 10 projects at a time. And I've learned through the years, through the different coaches that I've worked with and my community, I'm always narrowing the focus. My theory is 3 or less projects at any one time, and that's it. And all the shiny distractions want to come in all the time. The next project and the next thing and the lunches with friends and the dinners with friends and the vacations and da-da. And I am so clear on what I continue to ask myself is, what am I going to be proud of? So that helps me narrow the focus to my 3 projects. And then to create those projects, it's whatever support, whatever accountability partners I need to put in place of each day or each week. Like, here's what I'm doing, here's my intention, here's what I'm going to create, and then checking in when I'm done, or working with different coaches to help support that process too.
And can you talk a little bit about accountability partner for people who don't know what that is?
Yeah, so I love accountability partners. So, for instance, one of the women that I work with is an accountability partner. We will, what we do is we text each other in the morning and say our intentions for the day. My intention for today is to do these 3 things, the 3 most important things to me. And she'll text me hers. And then at the end of the day, we text back each other and say, I completed this, and maybe I didn't complete all 3. Maybe I completed 1, or maybe I completed more, who knows? But the accountability comes in of actually voicing to another person what the intention is and the clarity, and then having that other person support and not shame me if I don't do it. But if I don't do it like consistently, then she'll say, what's up? What's happening? How can I actually support you in moving forward on these things? So there's a shared purpose, there's a shared support for each other.
How do you deal with competitiveness, jealousy? Because that really happens a lot with women, especially in this town. And really cultivating the trust with a small group or that one person. How do you do that? And how do you get to the place where you trust?
Interesting. The competition and jealousy. It's interesting because I don't really experience it.
But back in the day, you probably did.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. Like, how did I get past that? Because the thing is, my point of view is abundance, and I live from that space of there's enough for all of us. And even if I feel that pang of jealousy come up of like, oh, that person has this really great coaching business that I'd love to do what she does. And I used to get jealous about it, but now I look at it like, no, she's just showing me the possibility.
Great, yes. Because I coach a lot of people or actors, and they say, oh, I can't trust them, they're after my job, or that. I'm like, no, you got to get to the point where abundance, you said the word abundance, I say, there's a river, everyone could have a cup. There's still plenty there for everybody else, and everyone is so different that be the best you could be, that nobody is you. So if you focus on what you could bring and do the exercises you're saying, just accountability partner, small baby steps, you could have whatever you want too, and they are a great role model.
Even in the entertainment business, working as an actor, when I walk in an audition room, it's like you can cut the jealousy and competition with a knife. It's so like the air may as well just have words all over it that are like, I'm scared, I'm fearful, jealousy, competition. I mean, it's so obvious. And so I walk in already knowing this is going to happen, and I'm the one who says hi to people. Because I'm like, why? Like, we're all in this. My point of view is we're all in this together.
Absolutely. Camaraderie, sisterhood.
Sisterhood.
And there's a lot more of that going on in town now, which I really love. And I'm connected with several of these groups with women helping women. So it's wonderful.
It is. It's good. And I think the thing with that is just really that instilling any of the actors that I'm friends with or talk to and work with as clients, that it's really instilling that, again, that point of view and that experience that how can I just be of service to whatever it is, whether it's an actor going out for a job, how do I be of service to this job? Not about how do I get the job, not about how do I be better than the other person, because none of that matters. It's how can I be of service to this moment, to this job, to this acting studio, to this room full of women who are sitting here in fear and rejection and all these things that they've made up that breaks my heart to see that.
Yeah, because it's a sad place to live in. Of, oh my God, I'm nervous, I'm jealous. What if that person gets it? I've been screwed before, I won't be screwed again. And and all that energy you take in with you. And those people cannot enjoy the success that they have either. I have a lot of people on my couch who saying, I have everything, and they've got the hit shows, they're top actors, but they're like, I'm miserable. And why are you so unhappy? It's because that jealousy, that fear is still a part of you. Someone else is going to come up and take my job away, or one day I'm not good enough, or I'm a fraud. I don't know how I got this because I saw the other people in the room. Whatever it is, but if you could just own, I am good enough because I'm worthy just from breathing air, what you were mentioning earlier, and I have something to say, and other people obviously see value in that because they wouldn't be in that situation. But that's such a hard one. That's most of the people I work with are highly successful people that are so unhappy.
Yeah.
And feeling like frauds.
Yes, I get that. I really get that. And it's really, just shifting that to that inner value of releasing any of those old beliefs. And I feel like so much of that is because I think the world is full of all this collective consciousness, all these collective thoughts. But especially here in not especially, but what I experienced in LA, what's rampant in the entertainment business, and even living in California, it's hard. It's hard to live here. It's so expensive. The entertainment business, it's a hard business. That's all I hear. Oh, it's so hard. And I'm like, is it? Is that really true? Or is it just, has everybody said that long enough that everybody believes it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Women can't get jobs.
Yes.
Really?
Women can't get jobs when they're 40.
Yeah.
I'm like, I started as an actor in my 30s, and I'm like, I work. I'm good.
Yeah. So I think that's a great exercise. That's actually one that I have clients do, is writing a list of all their negative beliefs and then writing the counter belief, the positive affirmation of that, and saying both of these could be true depending on what you want to choose to believe. And if you then start focusing on these anytime you have those thoughts, which I call imposter thoughts, switch it over here to your authentic soul. And your authentic soul knows you're good enough. Your authentic soul knows there's possibility for you over 40. Life is not dead after 40 for a woman. And just the hundreds of other things that go on. It's impossible to make it an entertainment business. It's impossible to have your own TV show. It's not. People are doing it. That means it's possible. But just to say it to yourself and look in the mirror and repeat it and look at you, not, people don't even look at themselves anymore. They're so, just get up and brush the teeth, go and go. And it's like, no, stop. There's somebody inside who's dying, who's crying, who just needs your love and needs your attention, and give it to yourself, and don't go out in the world and be needy and say, please tell me I'm good. Please tell me I'm beautiful. Look at my hair. Look at my clothes. I need the compliments. You do it to you and go, how do I feel? And am I good enough for me today? Not, well, maybe this person won't like my hair. Maybe I should change it. What do you think? Do you like your lipstick color? Do you like your dress? I mean, just it's a simple, it starts so basic. And if you could just clear that up, you go to the next level of success, and you go to the next level of happiness with success. There's a book out called How to Be Rich and Happy by Bart Baggett. Maybe you know Bart. It's like, somehow they don't seem to go together.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful work to really see clearly the beliefs on each
Yes.
side. And it reminds me of what our teachers from University of Santa Monica always say, that outer experience is a reflection of inner reality. And that's what I find with myself and as I move through life and with the clients that I work with. Whatever I'm thinking and feeling inside is immediately reflected to me outside. And so with the people that you're speaking of that like aren't happy and have it all and think they're a fraud, it's like, right, if I think I'm a fraud inside, if I really like somehow actually believe that's true, then I'm going to draw in people to reflect that to me.
Yes.
And so it seems so simple to me, and this is why I love the work.
I love what you just said. Yes. I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt. Because when you're saying you draw these people, I've had clients sit here saying, I don't know how to make a friends, or everyone I meet screws me over. Then look at yourself. Is that a projection? Do you do those things? You may not think you do, but if you dig deep enough, you probably do. Every client I've had, they do.
Yes.
After we dug, and they're like, oh my God, I am them. Yeah. Shift.
Yeah.
And you won't attract, I don't attract those people.
Right.
I attract great people.
Yeah.
I love people and trust me. It's like, what is going on? But I didn't at 22 or 21 when I just came to LA. I was always, cautious, one of those girls in the room of who's going to screw me. And that shifted, I think, very quickly though. Because I think I just picked up on the energy of the other ones. And I thought, oh, this is how you have to be. Because I came here naive from San Diego. Oh, it's just fun. And it's like, oh, no, it's not fun. It must be very serious. So.
Yeah. I didn't used to be like that either, because I used to let what happened outside make me think that's what was real.
Yes.
And once I got it, that, for instance, when I worked in the fashion business, I had an amazing career and I made plenty of money and I was miserable. But I thought, this is the only way I can make money, is by working for someone and being miserable but doing a really great job. And I guess this is life because this is what's happening.
Yeah, everyone says just get a job.
Yeah.
You're lucky you have a job.
You're lucky you have a job.
You're lucky. Yeah.
You'll never make as much money as you did as you do at this job. How many times I hear, don't quit. I mean, I had my family in my ear the whole time. You'll never make money doing something else. Don't quit. What would you ever do? You're so successful. How could you? And so I listened to that for so long until I finally went, I can't do this any longer. Like, it was the breaking point of, it wasn't even a choice of, I didn't believe in myself yet. I didn't believe I could make money doing something else. I didn't believe I could have another career, but I was at the point where I was so miserable that I had to shift.
And you believed that there was a possibility of you shifting.
Yes.
And that it could, a glimmer of hope that it could happen.
Yes.
And that you ran with that.
Yes. I knew there was something else. I had no idea what that was. But I just knew I had to take that leap of faith. Leaving my career was the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. That's why now all the things that I do that are so scary, that people think are scary and courageous, I'm like, no. Walking away from a 6-figure income, that's scary. But I did it because I knew there was something on the other side. Didn't know what it was, but trusted enough to do it. And then life expanded and opened up in ways I could never imagine, and I would do it 100 times again. And that's why I love coaching people in these areas, because it's like whatever we think is so scary and like we're holding on to these old beliefs and fears, and it's like if we really just follow that glimmer of intuition, that glimmer of possibility, there's something else greater for us. It's like this, the universe doesn't want us to live a miserable life. Spirit, the universe, God, light, whatever anybody wants to call it, like we're all in this playground together. Nobody's like, that Lisa, I'm going to make sure her life is just not no, it's like the universe is like, how do we support and build and grow with each other, for each other? So when I can help someone shift into that mindset too, of like seeing that we're supported, you're supported, even in the tiniest ways, then life can shift from that point too.
Absolutely. And even that person who's saying, I have everything against me. I've got this awful person that I have to co-parent with. I've got this bully. I've got this narcissist. There's still something in you that could shift the situation. And it's baby steps.
Yes.
And it might take a couple of months or 6 months. But if you slowly start shifting, the people around you are forced to shift just energetically. They won't even realize they're shifting. So it really does start with you and end with you of how you want your reality to be?
Every time. Every time.
So what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, I love that question. What do I want my legacy to be? My legacy is empowering people to live fully. And what that means to me is living a life that's happy. And not happy in like, I'm so happy, in like really a deep sense of contentment with life. And leaving, really going for it. Like I always think at the end of my life, and I always say this, like, God forbid this would be my last day on the planet, would I be proud of my life? And would I look at it and go, I really lived it. I really lived fully and I really went for it. And I do. And that's what's so great. I'm like, if my TV career ended tomorrow, if my coaching career ended tomorrow, if any of the exciting things I do ended tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, it was great. It's amazing. I'm so proud of what I did. So for me, it's my legacy is to live as full as possible in each day, in each moment, whatever that means for anyone, whether it's to be the best mom that they can to their kids. Of like, one of my best friends, she's a mom, and she is the best mom I've ever seen. Maybe you too. But the way that she actually cares and is with her kids every step of the way, and just emotionally with them, and time spent, and it's so delicious to me to see that. And so like her legacy is really being this amazing mom and giving so much love and guidance to her kids. And that's her full life. And someone else's full life might be having an amazing relationship with someone that they might have been scared to really go for that, to actually believe that's possible, to have a really great loving partnership with someone, but they've gone for it and they've done it. And then for me, it's like my career expansion is like so exciting and fulfilling. So my legacy is to always inspire people to listen to those calls within the heart that might be bigger than we even think that is possible, and like just going for it, just living it, just doing it, and taking the next steps to see what's possible.
I love that.
I do too. It's exciting to say it.
It's so exciting, and that it's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. It is real.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this with you. I think I could talk to you for another 10 hours. I don't think we'd run out of things to say or share.
I know we haven't even talked about shoes and handbags yet.
I know, right? There you go. Next time. I love your necklace.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Lisa. This has been so fun.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks.